Okay, holy shit, a lot of people in here. I thought you would all miss your flight and make it easy on us today. But yeah, I guess the bear is out of the cage, and Berachain and Google are collaborating and working together, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that today. Before we get into that, Adrien, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, do you have the slides, or?
I guess, do we have the slides, or we don't have the slides? There we go.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Adrien. I'm Web3 Principal Architect at Google. I've been in crypto for around 8 years. I started in cybersecurity, and then I joined Consensus as head of engineering. I stayed there for about 4 years. And at Google now, I help the Web3 strategy, and you'll see that we do quite a lot. And we want to really make it easy with the community to create Web3 projects on Google Cloud. Adam?
Yeah, pleasure to meet you all virtually and in person. I'm Adam. I lead corporate development at Berachain. What that really means is wherever they need someone without a bear mask on to work with Web2 organizations, they usually tap me in. Before Berachain, I led the business at ThirdWeb, and prior to ThirdWeb, I was at Adrien's competitor, AWS, on their venture capital and startup team for 5 years. So we'll jump right into why we're here today, and that's to announce a collaboration to accelerate the Berachain ecosystem with Google Cloud. Through this multi-pronged relationship, developers will now more easily be able to build applications on Berachain. So
maybe you can tell us a bit more about Berachain?
There we go.
For the people who don't know about it.
Happy to do that. So yeah, what is Berachain? A lot of you may have heard that, and you'll see me looking at these notes today. That's just so I comply with Google's terms and conditions as part of the arrangement we've got here. So Berachain is a EVM-compatible layer 1 built on the Cosmos SDK and powered by proof of liquidity. You'll hear our founder, Smokey, talk a little bit more about Berachain later today, so I won't get too technical. But the typical blockchain trilemma consists of 3 pillars: real users, developers, and capital formation. And Berachain transforms this into the proof of liquidity flywheel. Proof of liquidity aligns incentives between liquidity and security at the protocol level, driving value to protocols building on the network and rewarding the users that contribute the most to the ecosystem. You may have played around with our testnet, which launched earlier this year. I think the data shows that it is the most active testnet in history, with over 9 million active users and 130 million plus transactions. And it really showed what proof of liquidity can do, and we're excited to see what this enables and unlocks in the years to come and when our mainnet launches later this year. So what do we hope to achieve with Berachain? Well, in order for crypto to have real adoption, you need real applications that require this technology to be built on chain. Otherwise, people will just defer to your traditional, Web2 Google Cloud solutions. And that's why we're excited here today to tell you a little bit more about that. With Berachain, we hope to turbocharge the next 0 to 1 on-chain applications and help them bootstrap their liquidity and user base through proof of liquidity, ultimately accelerating their go-to-market and escape velocity. And I think you'll see that our community is one of the most active, insane, mimetic, all these adjectives kind of apply. We've already got over 200 applications building on Berachain on the testnet, gearing up for mainnet, and that's only going to grow. We have one of the strongest brands in the ecosystem, and you're probably wondering, why is Google up here with a blockchain inspired by bong bears smoking weed NFTs? So I'll hand it off to you, Adrien, to tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, sure. So actually, Google is doing a lot in Web3, right? Even having spent around 8 years in crypto, I was actually super surprised when I see everything they do and how crypto native they are. And that's everything you see on the slide here. Within Alphabet, there is a lot of things that are happening. It's really Google Cloud that is leading the crypto strategy. We have dedicated resources. We have more than 100 FTE working on Web3 day to day. We have dedicated products. Maybe you know about our blockchain nodes. Maybe you know our blockchain data sets. We basically index the data from around 20 different chains. We ingest the data. We put that in BigQuery for free to use by any developers and so on. And so soon we'll also going to add Berachain as part of these data sets. But what's really interesting is that it's heavily used by the industry already, even if not many people know about it. I suggest you take a look at about that, the blockchain BigQuery data sets. A lot of big users are using that. It's not really for the small builders, but it's quite interesting. The second pillar is Google Labs. They are working on cutting-edge technologies such as zero knowledge, roll-ups, and Google Search integration. And maybe you've seen a couple of weeks ago, now when you search on Google Search your addresses, you can see the balances, right? We cover around 7 chains. And that's pretty cool, right? And that's Google Labs basically behind the scene enabling that kind of features. The third pillar, and to me is really the most important one, and the reason why I joined Google, is that we run validators at scale, right? Like we run validators on Ethereum, on Polygon, on Aptos, on all these kind of networks. Soon we'll run also for Berachain when they go live. But it's very important because it shows that we have skin in the game, right? And that's a very big differentiator with other companies that you might think about. We have skin in the game, we run validators, we help decentralization, the different networks, and so on. And recently we even launched an eigenlayer operator on the mainnet. And that's very cool. I'm very excited about that. So if you want to, delegate, maybe you can. And yeah, as I said, we're also going to do the Berachain validator as soon as they go live. On the Play Store front, there are also a lot of things happening. We work with the Web3 community to help create the right frameworks to distribute the Web3 apps at scale, the distribution of these Web3 apps. The first step that we did is we enabled NFTs on the Play Store. We know it's not enough, but it's a good first step, and we're excited to see how it goes and what are the next steps going to be. Lastly, Google is doing a lot of investments in Web3 space. We are actually one of the largest corporate investors in Web3, and not many people know about it, but we actually invested in Fireblocks, and there is a small typo here. It's not right written. And we also invested in Bored Apes, in Yuga Labs. So I didn't put my T-shirt, but I really like this one. So yeah, that's it for the short intro. Back to Berachain partnership. Maybe Adam, you can tell us a bit more about the partnership collaboration.
Yeah, thanks, Adrien. So today we have a few interesting initiatives that we'll be announcing. The first is a new initiative by the Berachain Foundation to fund a global research chair to drive the advancement and usage of proof of liquidity. Google's always on the cutting edge of new cloud computing technology and GPUs and machine learning, and likewise, we're joining forces to incentivize and find someone from a top university globally to help us innovate with proof of liquidity. So Berachain Foundation will be providing $100,000 USDC to a selected team or individual, and Google Cloud will provide up to $100,000 in cloud credits to offset the research and development costs associated with that. This QR code should take you to that page so you can start reading up more about that. We encourage people to apply, tell your friends at universities to apply, and we're excited to see what you build. Next up, everyone's probably, heard of friends building a startup or going through an accelerator, and Google Cloud is usually by their side, helping them with tailored resources and credits. Likewise, we are launching an incubator based in Dubai called Build a Bera. We'll be sharing more about that soon, so I suggest you follow our Twitter for information about that, or check out our website and click on the foundation link. You're probably familiar with already, we'll be providing tailored programming, mentorship, master classes, and anyone who goes through the Build a Bear accelerator could qualify up for $200,000 in credits to help them build and go to market quicker. And then, I'll hand it off to Adrien to tell a little bit more about some of the product integrations, and this is just the start. So we'll tease a few here today, and then we'll have more to come in the coming weeks.
Yeah, sure. So in terms of integration, right, the goal is really to make it easy for developers to build on the Berachain ecosystem. So we have two main integration. The first one is that we will have a one-click deploy node for the Berachain ecosystem. And two, we'll make the data from Berachain available on BigQuery to be easily used by developers. So for the first one, imagine you need to, your project, you need to run a node for Berachain. You can go on the Google Cloud Marketplace, and in one click, you can deploy this node. It's going to be managed on your behalf, so you don't have to do any complex configuration. You don't have to do any kind of maintenance. So that's going to be very easy for the developers. On the second one, on the data side, and it's very interesting, you can, let's say that you have a project and you need to access historical data, or you need to do a complex query on something you don't have data, right? Like maybe you don't have the data for your query. Then you can use the BigQuery blockchain dataset for Berachain to do that. You don't have to pay for the indexing. You don't have to pay for the storage because Google is absorbing for this cost. You just pay for your query ad hoc that you need. And that's how people are actually using these BigQuery datasets today. And that's very helpful for a lot of different use cases. Google already has around 20 chains in this blockchain initiative, and we're very excited to have Berachain very soon as well. Yeah, I think that's about it. Maybe you have a
Yeah, I'll just
slide.
let the slide sit on the screen a little bit longer if anyone wants to take a cute little picture of this bear here. I mean, a bong bear with a Google logo, who would have thought to see it? But, it just shows what a collaboration this is going to turn out to be. So, in summary, we made a few announcements today. There may be more coming throughout the week and the coming month. We announced a new research chair program that we're jointly going to fund. Build a Beras startup incubator based in Dubai is going to be launching soon, powered by Google Cloud. You'll be able to deploy a node from Google Cloud to Berachain from their cloud marketplace in one click. And all Berachain data will be indexed within BigQuery and easy for you to build with. And then Adrien also mentioned that when we go to mainnet, Google will be part of our validator set and help us secure the network. I don't think we have too much more to share today. I know you probably all are in this room waiting for the next speaker, where maybe you'll learn about the benefits of drinking grizzly bear milk, or bathing in that milk or something. But we're excited for that talk just as much as you are, and appreciate you all being here today. So thank you for your time. How was that?
Thank you, man.